Hi, morning all. Myself, Rahul, with you from Bulwark. Welcome to today's webinar on automated mobile application security with Appknox. On today's agenda, we'll be discussing on Bulwark value-added distribution for Appknox. We'll look at the overview of the current landscape in GCC. We'll be going through the need of having an automated mobile application security testing tool. We'll also deep dive into the testing capabilities of Appknox. We'll followed by a case study and a product demo. Last but not the least, we'll be going through a Q&A followed in the last. We a cyber security distribution in this region for the past 24 years. And we also have our presence in India for the past 7 years. Bulwark is a company established in the year 1999, and we established in 2017 in India. We cater to 30 plus technology vendors, over to 700 plus business partners in Middle East and in India. Bulwark has an established track record of world-class products and excellent customer service. We are partnered with best of the breed technology vendors. We always offer award-winning products with excellent customer service. We deliver round-the-clock value-added service through our partner network across Middle East and Indian subcontinent. We work as an extended arm of our security vendors whom we represent in the region, promoting and selling IT security products through our reseller channel partners. We also have dedicated sales, marketing, and technical team to cater which all solutions we provide to. From now on, I pass on the stage to Ms. Priya to take it from Appknox side. Or to you, Priya.
Hey Rahul, thank you so much. So, hello everyone. I hope everyone is doing very well. Just a second, let me share my screen with you all. Okay, so first of all, I sincerely want to thank each and every one of you for joining our session today. We will certainly ensure that, via our webinar, we are able to provide you the valuable insights which you're looking for. Okay. So to start with the quick introduction of me and my team. So today I have with me Mr. Raghu. He's a senior product manager from Appknox. He's a seasoned product management professional with more than 10 years of experience. And globally, he has helped several clients in adopting the best-in-class cybersecurity frameworks. Raghu? Anything from your side?
Hey everyone, welcome to today's webinar, and I hope you will see the value in the platform that we have to offer. I'll walk you through the demo at the end of this session, so please stay tuned. Over to you, Priya.
Thank you so much, Raghu. Now, with regards to my introduction, so myself, Priya Biswas, I am a senior cybersecurity consultant from Appknox, and I have over 14 years of experience into cybersecurity domain, mainly focusing on into the consultancy and the sales part, as well as the channel partnership throughout Middle East, Europe, and APAC region. So yeah, so welcome once again in our webinar. Now let's kickstart with the presentation. Okay. So first of all, let's see that what is the cybersecurity market in the GCC region, right? So as we all know that from past few years, right, GCC region has seen a tremendous growth in terms of adoption of different kind of cybersecurity products, right? Regardless of the industry type, we talk about like whether it's in BFSIs or governments or let's say, aviation, healthcare, e-commerce, and regardless of their enterprise size as well, right? Whether it's large, medium, or small, CISOs are investing heavily in different kind of cybersecurity products, like whether it's in infrastructure security, network security, application security, or so on. And why they are investing heavily in these kind of cybersecurity products? Of course, they want to be sure that their organization is 100% protected from all those sophisticated cyber threats in the market, right? But here, the million-dollar question is, like, under all these kind of cybersecurity products, right? Why application security is becoming one of the top priorities for all the CISOs in the GCC region? Why? The reason is because of the growth of the mobile application security testing platforms, right? Because see, mobile applications are a very business mission critical assets for any organizations, whether it's BFSI, governments, healthcare, and so on, right? Like around 30 to 40% of the business revenues in this today's ever connected digital era, you can say, is coming from the mobile apps. And also, not only that, lots of confidential data of their users are stored in that mobile apps. So the CISO's top priorities in today's world is definitely to secure their mobile apps. They should be 100% secure that that none of the vulnerabilities are going out when they are launching their mobile applications in the play stores and app stores, right? So definitely the mobile app sec testing is one of the top priorities for the CISO. But again, they have an option in front of them whether to go ahead with the manual approach or an automated approach, right? Because let's say as pen testing is going on since around a decade or so as a practice throughout every organization. So definitely they will say that we have our own pen testing team in house, right? Then why there is a need to have an automated approach, to have another tool for a mobile application security? Why not to go ahead with a manual approach, right? Then see, definitely manual approach is good, but there are certain bottlenecks as well, very critical bottlenecks, in fact. What is that? First is definitely the time constraint, right? When we talk about that, we will go ahead with the manual approach. Then the CISOs, the first thing which they have to consider is that how much time it will take for their own pen testing team, which is there in-house, to complete this whole pen testing process. Definitely, it's around 7 to 10 business working days, right? If it's if it's a mobile app which is having some kind of financial transaction involved in it, right? So it's not easy. Time is definitely one of the main bottlenecks which CISOs are facing these days. Second thing is the resource constraint as well, right? Because already the cybersecurity market is the experts are not there that much in the cybersecurity market, right? And in that also, if you talk about the reports are also not standardized because depends on the expertise of the different pen testers. CISOs are going to get the result about their mobile application scan report, right? So to make it standardized, definitely the automated approach is more better than a manual approach. And last but not the least is continuously delivery demands, right? Where because see, in today's world, if some banking mobile application is there, definitely to stay relevant in the competition, they have to launch the features every month, or not even every month, every quarter or so, right? So for that, this software development lifecycle has to be super fast, right? Whereas with the manual approach, it will get definitely slowed down. So definitely an automated mobile application security approach is far better than a manual security approach. That is what the CISOs is now accepting as well, right? And if now we focus on the current landscape, which is there for the mobile application security in the GCC market per se. So see, in 2020, it was around 2.4 billion, right? It was projected. And in 2028, you can see it is projected more than around 14 billion, right? Just a second. Yeah, you can see around 14 billion, right? So the compound annual growth rate is really high in that sense, right? So now how Appknox can help you. So as we are talking about the mobile application security product, right? So Appknox is one of the pioneers to come up with an automated mobile application security testing solutions in the market. So our headquarters is in Singapore, and we have our second office in India. And in UAE and KSA, we have our representative partner Bulwark as well. So we are very fairly placed in Middle East as such. And as you can see that, we have also been rated as the top vendor under application security category by Gartner itself. And less than 10 years in the market, we already have more than 500 plus enterprise grade clients, right? And these are few of the marquee clients which you can see we have in the GCC region: Abu Dhabi Media, Doha Insurance Group, Qatar Islamic Bank, then Department of Digital Ajman, then TDRA. As we have an NDA signed with them, so we really can't disclose their logo, but TDRA is also some, we have our client, then Department of Health UAE, for which I'll also, showcase you the case study in a bit. Now, of course, that is about the company part. Like, Now, what about the offerings? Like what kind of solutions we have to offer you? So we have two solutions to offer you. Very simple and straightforward. One is a vulnerability assessment tool. It's an automated software tool where your client can run SAST, DAST, and API scans once they upload the binary files, right? And second solution which they are going to get is a complete service from the Appknox side, which is a VAPT services, where not only this automated tool they are going to get, but also they are going to get the pen testing services, which is a manual pen testing services, where our manual security hackers are going to deep dive into the business logical issues of your clients, and then they are going to give the results. Not only this, they are also going to help you with one-on-one remediations. Okay. And SBOM and store monitoring is also something which is the add-on features which we have, which Raghu will explain you in the product demo. Now let's move ahead with a quick case study. Okay, this is the case study with one of the ministries which we have in the UAE, that is in the healthcare department. So what are the challenges, they were facing? First, let's have a look over it, right? First challenge is definitely the open source technologies which they were using, to identify the vulnerabilities which they were having in their mobile applications. Definitely open source, as we all know that, as it's not the paid one, and definitely the test cases are also not updated on a regular basis. That's why the compromised security you can see over here in their medical data, which they were facing, right? Second is the need for the higher level of control over the confidentiality of the data. Definitely, they were using the open source and various other tools. That's why the cyber attacks were happening regularly on their mobile apps, and they want to protect that. They want to have a better control of it, so that no hackers can, able to crack through their security measures, right? So, what is the solution which Appknox has provided? So Appknox has given them our vulnerability assessment tool, which is an automated mobile AppSec platform, right? Where they are not able to do only the automated dynamic assessment, okay, which is one of our USP, which Raghu will explain you in the product demo. He will actually show you how, by leveraging the real physical device, you can perform the dynamic scans and get a real-time results of the vulnerabilities. Second thing, why they have chosen us is because of an on-prem security solution. Because there are only few handpicked, vendors are there in the market who's providing an on-prem security, like mobile app security, and Appknox is one of them. That is also second reason why they have gone ahead with us. Third is very, very important: zero false positives. Because we all know in this whole cybersecurity domain, whether you talk about endpoint security or network security, false positives is very, very important, which, as a CISO, as an InfoSec manager, they concentrate on. So Appknox can give you near about zero false positives in the report, which this Ministry of Healthcare has experienced, right? And as you can see, as per the data, 40 applications they have analyzed, and we have able to identified around 341 vulnerabilities in the first scan itself, and 15 of them was the critical one, right? So not only this, we have not just shared the report with them, but we have also helped their whole team with the remediation. We sat with them and we tried to explain them that these are the ways how you can solve the and get the security done for your mobile apps. Okay, and this is also the testimony which you can see from the senior specialist of that healthcare entity, the ministry healthcare entity. It is a one-stop solution for entire mobile app security needs. So the tool consolidates everything. I find Appknox DAST as one of the very cool features. It is constantly evolving, and I'm very excited to explore the new store monitoring feature as well. So not only with the current, features and functionalities, they are happy, but they are also ready to go ahead with the new add-on features which we are coming up on a regular basis, right? So this is one of the ministry's case studies. I am sure you must have got an idea like why mobile AppSec is necessary these days for the CISOs to be on the top list, and why even the government agencies in the UAE and the other part of the world are going ahead with Appknox. Now to show you the real demo of the product, look and feel, I'll just hand over this to Raghu.
So this is basically how a platform looks like. This is the Appknox platform that you're looking at. Now, for you to initiate the mobile app, say a vulnerability assessment for your mobile app, all that you have to do is you need to upload your application. We don't need the source code at any point in time. We just need the AAB APK in case of Android, or the IPA file in case of iOS applications. So you just select the file that you want to upload. Once you initiate the upload, right, it just takes a few seconds for the upload to get completed. And once the upload is successful, our system automatically initiates the first type of security assessment on top of that application. So as you can see here, the upload has been successfully done. Now the static scan or SAST has been initiated on top of this particular application. It usually takes around 3 to 4 minutes for the static assessment to get done. And as and when the scan is getting done, you will get to see the results right here. So you can see that already there are 2 high severity issues and 1 low severity issues that has been flagged. And you'll also get to see the details of that. I'll come to this in a moment, right? Uh, Now, as the static scan is in progress, you can also initiate the dynamic scan. Now, here is where we provide you with real devices to perform the dynamic assessments. These are not emulators or simulators, but are in fact real devices on which you will be running the dynamic assessment on, right? So before I get to that, as you might have noticed, now the static scan is completed. We are seeing the summary of results from static scan. So there are some issues that have been flagged during the static scan process. We execute close to 60 odd test cases during the static assessment stage. Now for the dynamic scan, so as I said, you can select any device that you want to run it on. These are real devices and not simulators or emulators. And if I say start dynamic scan, now what's happening is this sample application is getting installed on a real device. And once it's installs and boots up, you can interact with that application or using the device on the right hand side. So let's give it a few seconds for that to happen. So it's in the launching state. There you go. So this is a dummy internal application that we use for demos. So these are various functionalities that exist within this application. So I'm just interacting with that application and various functionalities associated with it. So I'll just say go back. Just click on a couple more things. And once I've interacted with all the functionalities of the application, now I need to stop the dynamic scan. Now, before I do that, just keep an eye out on the graph and the numbers. The moment I click on stop, within a second or two, you will see the updated results right here. I don't know if you observed, but this pass percentage increase, and there are some other vulnerabilities found as well during the DAS state. So you can see that there's one issue, 1 or 2, 3 issues found during the dynamic scan stage based on the scan that I just performed. Now, once the dynamic assessment is done, you then move on to performing the API assessment. It's extremely easy to perform during the dynamic assessment stage. Whenever you are interacting with the application, based on your interaction, basically we capture all the API calls that get triggered as a part of it, as a part of those interactions, right? So once you see those list of APIs here, you just need to view the list of APIs and simply say start API scan, right? API scan gets triggered. It's as simple as that. Now along with this, this forms the automated VA offering that we have, which comprises of your SaaS, DAST, and API scan. Along with this, we also have a manual scan offering, which is offered as a service, wherein you can raise a request for a manual pen testing to be done on your application using this form here. You can raise a request. Once you raise a request, somebody from our team will get in touch with you. Your app will be assigned to a security researcher in-house who will then will perform the penetration testing on this application. Once he's completed his assessment, then they'll get on a call with your team and give you a walkthrough of the findings and what are the next steps and how to go about fixing these issues. So the remediation aspect of it is also covered under our manual scan or the PT offering. So with this, we have VA and PT. Now, while the API scan is getting done, let's actually look at the results. Now, apart from the summary that you get to see, you also get to see some sort of an analytical data point here, which basically compares the current upload of this app with the previous upload and gives you insights on what has changed, right? So if you see here, it is basically saying that there are 24 recurring issues compared to the previous file which was uploaded on this date, right? So it essentially means that the development team has not fixed the issues in the earlier build and they've popped up again, 24 in this case. And not only that, apart from the recurring issues, there have been 3 new issues that is figured in this newer build which did not exist in the old build. And you'll get such information around those lines. Now, specifically from a vulnerability standpoint, right? So let's look at this particular vulnerability and see what details you get to see. So you have a high level description of the vulnerability, and all our severities are computed based on the CVSS v3 scoring mechanism. So you get to see the CVSS v3 score for this particular vulnerability, the breakup of that, i.e. based on the various metrics under CVSS itself, and then what is the exact vulnerability that was located, what is the compliant solution, what are the various compliances that your organization is violating or is in violation of due to this particular issue being flagged by Appknox. So we have support for close to 7 or 8 compliances, most of the OWASP related compliances, MASVS, MSTG, PCI DSS, HIPAA, so on and so forth. We are in the process of adding SAMA compliance support as well. So you get to see the business implication. So this is how the vulnerability information looks like. We don't not only tell you what the issue is, but also give you insights on how to go about fixing it so that your respective development teams can use this information to address that particular vulnerability. In terms of reporting capabilities, we have 3 formats currently available. One is the PDF format, the XLSX, and the CSV. So whatever information you saw just now in the UI will be available in the reports across all of these 3 formats. So as we were speaking, the API scan also got completed. As you can see, there are some API related vulnerabilities that have been flagged. So this forms our core VAPT offering, right? Now, apart from this, we do have a couple of add-on features. The first thing is called store monitoring. This is basically to enable the drift detection capability. What this does is in every organization, the management or the senior leadership would have laid down policies and guidelines saying every app has to be assessed for security issues before it gets released to Play Store or App Store, right? But in reality, what might be happening is development teams might be pushing the apps directly to stores due to various reasons. Either they are under time pressure or they have to release a feature quickly, so on and so forth, right? Bypassing the security process itself. Now there is a drift coming in with respect to what the expectation is from your organization's management versus what is happening in reality, right? And that is where our store monitoring offering comes into play. Now in this case, right? So in this case of this application, you can notice that for this app, currently on the Appknox platform, the latest scanned version is 1.123. But as of 29th Feb, the latest scanned version of this particular application uh, is version 167, meaning there is a version of your application out there on the Google Play Store which is unscanned, which is posing a risk for your organization. And not only that, we also tell you in which geographies was this particular unscanned version found. So you can see, right? So this version 167 was found across multiple geographies, and you can take corrective actions based on this information, right? Now, it's extremely easy to use this functionality. All that you have to do is turn this toggle on, and then our system will do the job for you day in and day out. We continue to monitor the Google Play Store and Apple App Store 24/7, 365 days a year, and we'll try to identify a newer version whenever it gets released. Then we try to say whether that new version has been assessed for security issues or not. If it is not, we immediately trigger a notification to take corrective actions. So this is the store monitoring offering that we have. Along with this, we also have an offering to cater to the supply chain security aspect of it. Here, what we basically do is we try to identify the components that have been used in your application. When we say components, we basically mean third-party frameworks or libraries, open source or frameworks or libraries that your development teams might have used to build the application. we give you that inventory that basically is the SBOM aspect of it, right? So as you can see, these are the various components that have been used in this particular app. And we not only do this, we take it a step ahead and we also try to identify whether there are any known vulnerabilities with the fundamental component itself. So for example, in this case, the JSON component in this particular application, there is a CVE associated with that component, right? So if I go here, it will give me more details on what is the exact vulnerability associated with that component, which version is it affecting, right? Components, since these are third party or open source, there might be multiple versions of those, right? So it gives you what is the affected versions and in which version is the fix available. So essentially what this is telling you is, in case you want to use the JSON component, you need to use a version of 2.8.9 or above, so that it is free from any vulnerabilities. So this is the level of information that you get from our SBOM offering. You can also download this into reports. We have PDF, and OWASP Cyclone DX is one of the compliances that we support for the SBOM offering. So this is a brief overview of our platform. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to take them. Sure, I can show you one of the reports. So let's look at the PDF report itself. It's password protected. So if you scroll down, let me go to an issue directly so it will be easier. So it will give you an overview of what are the various issues are there, along with the severity associated with it and the CVSS score of that particular issue. So this is one particular vulnerability that has been found in this application. So you get an information of what that vulnerability is, high level overview, the CVSS breakup, what are the various compliances this issue is violating. So in this case, NIST is also getting violated. What is the actual vulnerability? What is the non-compliant code example basically deals with, basically indicates what is it that your team has done incorrectly that has resulted us in flagging this issue in the first place, followed by the compliant solution. So this is the compliant solution in the context of this issue. And then the business implication. And in some cases, we also give additional references to external vulnerabilities that can be used for fixing the issue. So here, related vulnerabilities, for example. So hope this was useful. And we also have XLSX and CSV based reporting for easier management on your end, or with your interactions with between the security team and the development team. That also contains most of the information that is present here in the PDF report. Any other questions that I can help with? There is an executive summary here, gives you a very high level overview of the split of issues, but we do have an executive dashboard as well, a CISO dashboard as we call, that will provide you insights into in-depth insights into whatever is happening, whatever is being done by your respective teams across all teams. So that's an offering that we have as well. Other questions?
I think you have some questions from Sri Lakshmi, who has asked few questions like, for API security, what are the prerequisites? Is the API discovery a part here?
Correct. So, Sri Lakshmi, with respect to API security, right? So we discover all the APIs that get triggered from your mobile application based on the interactions that you perform, right? So when I did the dynamic scan here, when I was doing the dynamic scan using the device here, so let's say I click the submit button, that would have triggered an API call to save that information somewhere, right? So that API will get captured. So and so on and so forth. So whatever API calls get triggered as a part of your mobile applications, all of that will be captured. Once that list is available to us, then you have to initiate the API scan. So as I'd shown here, you just have to click on the start button, view the list of APIs that were present in your mobile application, and then just say start and proceed with the API assessment. It's as simple as that. I hope that answered the question.
The second question we have from Sri Lakshmi herself is, how is the licensing done? Is it given as a bundle or is it SaaS, DaaS plus API?
It's a bundle. So SaaS DaaS plus API forms an automated VA offering. So the licensing is basically based on the number of applications. So number of Android apps or number of iOS apps. Maybe Priya, you can shed some more light on this.
Sure, Raghu. So, Sri Lakshmi, basically, our one license is equal to one mobile application, one platform. So, for example, let's take about WhatsApp, right? So, WhatsApp is available in both Android as well as iOS platform, right? So, WhatsApp has to procure two licenses from Appknox, in short. So, one Android is one license, one iOS as another license.
Okay, in the questions, Sonali.
So another question we have from Shahad would be, does the solution cover any code or just the mobile application?
Yeah, so if you're asking whether Appknox performs source code based assessment, the answer to it is no. We only need binary as an input or the final your exe equivalent file, right? Which is in this case the APK IP or the AAB. So we don't need access to your source code, nor do we perform source code audits using our platform. I hope that was helpful. Any other questions, team, that I can help you with?
Priya, one question for you, because I believe what is the minimum license to start with and how many partners are there in Kuwait?
Yeah, thank you so much, Rahul. So, see, minimum licensing cap should be two, uh, where one Android and one iOS is good to go ahead with. And in Kuwait, your question was how many channel partners we do have? Is it so?
Yes, Priya.
Yeah, yeah. So, yeah, we do have a channel partners in Kuwait, but see, we are definitely open to explore more channel partnerships in the region. So, yes, we are open, and the new partnerships are always welcome. And I just would like to add, on top of what I mentioned for Sri Lakshmi's questions regards to the licensing, right? So, Sri Lakshmi, just to give you an more insight on the licensing part. So, see, we have two offerings, as Raghu also mentioned. One is vulnerability assessment tool, which is an automated tool, right? Second is a complete service or a package, which is a VAPT service from Appknox side. Both are available on-premise as well as on cloud. For on-premise, only the vulnerability assessment tool you are going to get. PT, as you know, for that we require, the support of your infrastructure, which is not possible in on-premise deployment. So for on-premise, only vulnerabilities assessment tool is available. Okay, and we are giving you as an annual subscription offer where unlimited time of scans you can perform on a particular license. I hope that gives you more insight on the licensing part. Yes, in KSA, we have Ministry of Commerce, KSA, we have Najim Insurance, and we have several other clients with whom we have an NDA signed. So yes, we have a good references in Saudi Arabia as well.
I see a couple of other questions from Shabir as well. So yes, the trial version is available. You can perform a POC, take a trial version, give a hands-on, do a hands-on of the platform as well. That's available. With respect to deployment options, as Priya just mentioned, we have two modes of offering. One is the SaaS, the cloud-based offering. The second is the on-prem offering, where we'll install a copy of our product on your instance. I hope that was that answered your question.
Thanks so much, Raghu. I believe we don't have further questions, right? So, yeah, first of all, thanks all who have joined in today. So what we'll do, follow up, we'll further send a follow-up mail with the video recording of the session. Yeah, Raghu, before we conclude, I think there is one more question. What is the difference
Yes.
between our solution with MobSF?
That's a good question. There are multiple differences between what we have to offer and what MobSF has to offer. MobSF is an open source offering, as you're already aware, right? Now, with respect to MobSF, one of the main drawbacks is that you don't get to perform DAST for iOS apps because they provide emulators and there's no emulator for an iOS application, right? In our case, we will be able to perform DAST for both Android and iOS apps. Plus, you'll be able to do that on a real device. Let's say you have a banking app which requires an OTP, right? So that is not something that can work on an emulator. In our case, since it's a real device, we'll have a SIM connected device. So you'll be able to use the OTP to log in and access all of the functionality, right? Those are a couple of differences. The other main differences with respect to API scan. MobSF only captures APIs, right? It does not have the capability to perform security assessment of those captured set of APIs. In our case, we capture as well as assess those APIs for security issues. That's the other main difference. The next thing is the frequency of updates. So if you see the MobSF update cycle, right? I think the last I checked, the latest test case that they had added to their repository was a year or so ago. Now, what happens to all the other vulnerabilities or the new threats that might have popped up throughout that year? So you are testing your app against an outdated database of vulnerabilities. In our case, we constantly update new vulnerabilities to our database. Plus, we also enhance the signatures of the existing vulnerabilities as well. So these are some of the stark differences between what we have to offer versus what MobSF has. The Real Mobile is available both on the cloud platform as well as an on-premise instance as well. So in case of on-premise, we will be shipping some devices to your platform, to your location, and that those devices will be connected to the server where the product is hosted. So the devices will be available both in the on-prem version as well as on the SaaS version. Right. Over to you, Rahul.
Okay, great. Yeah. I believe should we give 2 more minutes to see any further questions we have, or like we'll wait for a couple of minutes as well. I believe that there are some questions coming in. Yeah. Yeah, Bharat. So we'll be sharing the recording of the session or to you or the mail. So I will personally be sharing the recording. And yeah, quick question, Priya and Raghu from my side. Like I didn't see that questions. Okay. So do we have any compliances in the region which makes the customer go for a purchase of a mobile application scanning tool?
We follow global standards right now, which is the OWASP Mobile Top 10, OWASP API Top 10, OWASP MAS, VAS, so on and so forth,
All right.
in terms of the development standards. Along with that, the
Great.
global financial regulations such as PCI DSS, GDPR is what we support.
Great.
Specific to the GCC region, one of the compliances that is currently in progress from product standpoint is the SAMA compliance, which I believe is relevant to the Saudi Arabian financial sector. So that's the other
Right.
compliance that we're introducing support for.
Great. That's great. Okay. Yeah, I don't see further any questions coming in. Yeah, thanks so much, Raghu, and thanks so much,
I
Priya, for
think
coming.
Rahul, there's a question here from Shabir.
Yeah, go ahead, Sonali.
So, though the Appknox team can be engaged for PT on per application basis.
Yes, that is possible. So you can reach out to us for performing a VAPT on your application. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, first, yeah. So I think we can wind up. Thanks, Raghu, and thanks, Priya. Thanks, Nikita from Appknox side. And thanks to all the partners who have made this session a success for today. And thanks, Sonali, for your grand hosting. So we'll be sharing you the recording of the session as well as with the thanking mail. Have a great day ahead. Thanks all. Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks. Thank you all.